Tuesday, I hurt my hand. Actually, I didn't hurt my hand. Someone else did. Someone called Rory.
Rory has some behavioural issues.
Meaning that he can't ever behave.
He doesn't do his homework. He eats lollies in class.
He always swears at the girls. Hey! Which would be really bad, except sometimes Rory thinks he knows a lot more swear words than he really does. Hey! Bishop Tumor Minkle! I don't know what he thinks he's saying when he says Minkle, but it's meant to be rude.
Really rude.
When actually Minkle doesn't sound rude, it sounds like something you'd call your cat.
I would never call my cat Minkle.
It's cute.
It's a swear word.
A made-up swear word.
Still, I would always feel like I was being mean to my cat.
Anyway, Rory's worst behavioural issue is that he bites
people.
Rory bit me on the hand. I didn't mean to bite Melanie on the hand. I meant to bite her on the elbow. But she moved her arm and then all of a sudden her hand was in my mouth. So I bit that instead.
Rory's not fussy about where he bites.
He'll bite anything.
Once, he even bit someone on the bum.
He got in big trouble for that because it was Mrs. Gonch's bum.
Deb Macho. Oh, yeah. Rory!
My dad says Rory bites because he hasn't learned to control his impulses. My dad says we all have impulses, but we need to learn to control them. Like if I have the impulse to do a fuffy at the dinner table, I need to learn to control it. But I haven't learned how to do that yet.
The only people who actually can't control their biting are vampires, and vampires are made up. Rory's real. Rory bit me on the hand!
What do you say to Melanie?
I didn't mean to.
What else do you say to Melanie? Sorry?
That's what I meant. I'm going. He had to go and sit in the principal's office.
Rory is always sitting in the principal's office.
Rory has a special behavioural modification management plan.
Which mainly involves sitting in the principal's office.
He even has his own special chair in the corner with a sign that says Rory's spot.
Minkle.
Rory had to go to Rory's spot and I had to go to sickbay to put cream and a bandage on my hand. And then I started to feel really bad. I feel sick.
Because of your hand?
No, because this room smells like old vomit.
Oh, don't be silly, Melanie. That is just your imagination.
My imagination can't smell.
This is a very clean room. Look, I can take a big, deep breath in.
Are you all right, Mrs. Goncha?
Just need to order some more bandages and do the find.
If Mrs. Goncha really wants to punish Rory, she should put Rory's spot in sick bay.
It's funny that Rory's always sitting on that chair, because Rory is the worst in the whole class at sitting still on a chair. Mrs. Gonch is always saying, "Oh, Rory, have you got ants in your pants again?" Because once he really did, after he stuck Batty's Lamington in his shorts.
Rory offered to give my Lamington back, but I didn't want it after that. I wasn't so worried about the ants. More Rory shorts.
Mrs. Goncha said Rory had to have a long, good, hard think about what he did.
Good, hard think. 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 Good, hard think.
I wish it was all right to bite someone's fingers. My dog Raffy bites all the time when he's playing. But my mum says, "You're not a dog, Rory." And I say, "Really? Let's look at the facts. I like biting when I'm playing. I can catch a frisbee in my mouth. And I like eating with no hands." I don't think she's paying attention. The only time I've ever been to the principal's office is to collect a principal's award.
Like 3 times.
8 times. Once for the maths competition, then for my Go Green campaign, then for the readathon, then...
Yep, I believe you. 8 times.
It's a very special office.
Why?
It has nice pictures and maps and lots of pens and pads and sticky notes. Sometimes I think Rory's lucky to have his own special spot there.
It's really boring. There's nothing to do. I have to sit in this chair all day, and the principal always goes, Rory, back on the chair. She wasn't there today. She was at this professional development thing. I kind of missed her. I even started saying, Rory, back on the chair to myself, so I wouldn't feel so lonely. Rory, back on the chair.
My dad said he's not sure that the school's behavioural modification management plan for Rory is working. My dad says when he was a kid, a behaviour modification management plan was called a strap.
Miss Goncha always sends me to the principal's office because she knows it's my worst thing not being around the other kids. I didn't want to make Melanie cry. I just wanted to bite her juicy little fingers. But I wish I hadn't done it because now it was little lunch.
The thing is, Rory honestly never means to be naughty. He just can't help it, and he probably
And even though Rory's really annoying and disgusting and gross, we felt sorry for Rory sitting in Rory's spot at Little Lunch. So I decided we should write him a note.
I think we should write him a note.
Are you serious? Writing him a note will only encourage him to keep being naughty.
But we could probably...
And we'll get in trouble too.
But maybe we could...
We should not write Rory a note. Anyway, the important part is that we ended up writing Rory a note.
I wanted it to land all the way over in Rory's spot, so I thought we should wrap the piece of paper around a big chunk of apple, so it would make the distance. Read the note!
The note said...
I'll say what the note said. You didn't write the note, I wrote the note.
I wrote it with you.
She corrected my spelling.
His spelling was terrible.
Like Rory would know. The note said, Dear Rory.
We're sorry you have impulse control issues. We hope your behavioural modification management plan is helping you, even though it doesn't seem to be. Hope it's okay in the big house?
But then I made him cross out the big house because no one knew what that meant.
It means jail.
Still, nothing.
I was being funny because I was saying the principal's office was like jail.
Then why didn't you just say jail?
So I wrote, hope it's okay in the principal's office, which does not sound cool at all. We miss you out here.
I was so excited when I saw them all together there at the window. Even Melanie was there, and she was waving. Annika said she was just holding up a sore hand, but I'm pretty sure she was waving.
For the whole rest of Little Lunch, it was really fun because we were all writing messages and drawing pictures and chucking them into the principal's office on little bits of paper. I like chucking stuff into the principal's office. I wrote him a joke.
What do whales like to eat for dinner? They like to eat fish and chips. That's a really funny joke because a whale could really eat a whole ship. And whales do eat fish. And it sounds like fish and chips.
The joke wasn't that funny, but he'd been locked up by himself for a long time. He would have thought that maths was funny.
I decided to write an acrostic poem about Rory. I wrote R-O-R-Y down the page. I don't know why I decided to do that, because I hate acrostic poems. Mrs. Goncha is always getting us to write acrostic poems about everything, and I can never think of good words. But I used up my paper with writing R-O-R-Y on it, so I was stuck with that stupid acrostic poem. I had to think of some words to describe Rory.
Rabbit, orange, red, yak. Hey, it spells Rory.
I drew a beautiful girl from the future flying in space in a rocket. It was a really good picture.
What's that?
It's a girl from the future in space.
Why are you making her boobies so big?
I'm not.
Yes, you are. Look.
They're not boobies. They're her space controls.
They look like big boobies.
Anyway, Rory really liked my picture.
Boobies.
I really like logic puzzles, so I decided to give Rory a riddle to solve to help pass the time.
What can travel the world but always stays in the corner? There's no answer.
No, you have to work it out.
Why?
It's a puzzle. I forgot that it was me who liked logic puzzles, not Rory. Rory hates logic puzzles, so I just told him the answer. It's a stamp. It can travel the world, but always stays in the corner. It stays on the corner of an envelope and can go to other countries.
Atticus really needs to work on his riddles. It wasn't nearly as good as the fish and chips joke. It also wasn't as good as the last note I unwrapped because that had a half bagel inside it.
Dear Rory, hope you like bagels. I will see you later, alligator.
And also because it was from Melanie.
I knew Rory would be hungry, and also I still felt a bit funny in the tummy after being in the sick bay, so I couldn't finish my little lunch.
I was super happy Melanie threw me her bagel, even after I bit her juicy little fingers.
Here's what happened. Rory bit me, then I cried. Then he said sorry. Then Mrs. Gunter got mad at him and sent him to sit in Rory's spot. The end. Except not the end, because then I threw my bagel.
Bye, Rory!
Bye, see ya! Bye! Bye, see ya! But they all went back to class and I was all alone in Rory's spot again. But not once did I say to myself, Rory, back on the chair. But the principal came back from the professional development thing, and she did.
Rory, back on the chair.